a god, I mean, a lovely boy for that first season, what he did, but even the new, he might be coming on to the form of what he had previously, but even the new, I wouldn't trust him as a left back, so I hope Lenny keeps it tight at the back, and if he does, I think we could get a heroic draw against him. I think we're going to have to score and get a one each, maybe even two each. I think we can get 2 goals and we can get a draw against him tomorrow. Would you take that, Captain?
I'll take it at all, mate. If it's anything positive, I'll take it. I mean, I've seen the programmes come out for Saturday's game, and I've seen all the youth players now in the squad, you know, and I'm hoping this year that, I mean, I'm quite happy, obviously, go to season pick and all that, but I mean, I'm quite happy to see guys rested and letting a couple of youth players in to prove their worth, you know. Guys,
if they can't do it now, then what's the point of Lennoxtown, as I've said before, if they can't go and do that this weekend, in between these next fixtures, then I don't know. Even the Morton game.
I told it. You know, it's guys have got to go out and earn their crust, and you say hopefully there's some. You talk to TC, there's some dynamic boys coming through, and but as you say that you look at obviously going back to Ferguson, the Man United team, you don't win kids. You know, I mean, Pelé won a World Cup in 17. You know, if you're good enough, you'll win things. You know, it's not like the bad old days that when all. Maybe tell Scottish football because we get kicked to death for the team we play against, but I'd like to think there's a protection there now to let the players flourish and let them go on with the ball. So
you look at the games here then, right? Between AC Milan and Barca, right? So between 2 weeks we've got 3 games to play, right? So 3 days after Milan we play St Johnstone. 3 days after St Johnstone we play Morton. 4 days after Morton, and that's 2 home games, we play away at Kilmarnock. And we've got the Barcelona at home, and then the week later, Motherwell at home. So see they 3 games, alright, the Motherwell, Barca, maybe we can go with the same team that plays Barca because we might get a victory and they could all be buoyant against Motherwell. But certainly that game against Kilmarnock away and the one at Morton, surely we've got to give a good run out for the youngsters there. If we can't do it there, Pat, we might as well just close that Lennoxtown down by now, because what the fuck good is it if we can't play our youngsters in these games?
I think I mean, obviously there's guys getting the games through, and obviously the lads that did so well over in Dublin against Liverpool and that, you know, it's a good advertising for the club, because it also shows, for me, it shows that if the players like Victor are now come in and did well and moved on to other things, you know, and financial things, and went to a so-called better league. But we've got to show that, you know, how many people do you meet in the street that, you know, I'm away saying for Celtic, I've never got a game and fell at football and moved away. We've got to prove that we can still get to make these coming through, and you know, young players coming through in development, and to be shown sign for Celtic, because, you know, within 2 years you'll get a game. And if you want to stay here and play for 10 years, you can stay. If you want to stay here for 5 years, get to a certain level and move on. If you get to that level where you've got to move on to further your career, go for it. So, but as you say, it's Lennoxtown sits over to the north of Glasgow, Tommy, and I was talking to Tony Cassidy the other night there, and whereas I'm still raging about the fact that the Wanyama money's sitting in the bank there and it's still being touched, you know. But see if Peter Lovell came out and said, well, do you know what, see £6 million of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a £2 million medical facility like AC Milan have got, with the oxygen tank, which means injured players sit in a room and they get rehabilitated quicker. I'm absolutely fine with that. You know, don't send a £6 million striker. Put some pitches in, give some kids some free football time, put oxygen tanks in, get more medical facilities up to top European standards, mate. That's what I'm getting from me, you know.
I heard you, it's an idea. We're certainly not going to get a top-class striker in for fucking... I mean, they're not going to... they're not going to buy one for the next transfer window. I mean, they're not going to go and splash the cash then, so... Well, they've got that money doing shit anyway. Let's do something, mate.
I mean, there's... Why don't we just get the young talent here and bring up our own talent the way Ajax do, you know? And I mean, they'll be lucky. I mean, obviously, we told
this is it, but hold on, but this is it. You were saying bring them on. If they don't, you can talk about all this fancy stuff, but if you do not give them a game in these 2-3 games coming up, if you don't play the guts of that Dublin decider team and give all the top ones a break, then what is Lennoxtown for? I mean, seriously, honest to goodness, if it doesn't, then we just need to look at that and say, well, how much are you paying for it? Because if you can't take a strain against Morton or St Johnstone or Kilmarnock, then fuck's sake, they'll not have a future. They shouldn't have a future at Celtic. If they can't take care of those games, then they shouldn't be ship them up and shape them out. It's a bit harsh, but
I totally agree, mate. It's, as I say, we'll wait and see. It's with stuff going on, but I mean, I'm realistic enough to say I know we're not going to get X amount of players, but I mean, there was a difference. We spent X amount on Pookie. When Pookie came on, within 10-15 minutes, he scored a goal. Now, I don't know if the guy coming earlier he wasn't the first choice striker, if he wanted to wait to our guaranteed Champions League group stages, but if that boy was happy to come 2 months ago, can you imagine if we'd have got him 2 months ago and he'd played about 7 or 8 games for Celtic, how sharp he'd have been, how familiar he'd have been with his teammates? You know, that's when you buy a player for Europe who speaks English, plays in a good league, and can come into a team. And it's no disrespect to like Baldy, he might have a year bouncing the ball about in the reserves or the youth team and getting his level and then coming back in next year and doing well, you know, but as I say, we'll wait and see. I don't like to see players hung out to dry and played, because you remember when the great Billy McNeil was a manager and we'd sign a player and maybe they'll start well, but you know, we never had much else. The boy had to get played, and sometimes he came good, and sometimes he got rotten and vanished into the night, you know. So I don't think we'll ever see this. I mean, probably the squad we had last season was probably the biggest, best in-depth Celtic squad I've ever seen in my life. I doubt we'll ever see anything like that again, Tommy, you know, because you look at the players that left this summer, and obviously the players we sold this summer, and some of them probably, you know, they're never going to get to that.
Players that you chased out the door quick enough, you couldn't chase Paddy McCourt out the door. I'll never forget what you did to him. You left him without a name. You're a disgrace. How dare you?
Paddy McCourt stealing wages. Don't even
start. You'll be getting banned. He fucking stealing wages allowed to. He's a Tim. He's a Derry Pelly. He wasn't stealing wages. He was a charity case.
He sat on the bench that night when the sheriff was
the quality arse like him. We should the bench, that seat where he sat on, should be preserved. That should be put in the Celtic Museum and say, Paddy McCourt sat in this seat as like the judge. He sat here in judgment on this seat for most of his games, and we sang in homage to him. The guy should be some, I don't know, the ball Paddy McCourt. You chased him at the door. You're bang out of order.
Who else did I chase at the door? There's got to be others.
Bangura. You chased Bangura out as well. You put him off. He thought you were a stalker. He thought you were like one of these screaming Waynes at fucking One Direction. He thought this parrot's fucking took it the level to fucking stalking to new levels here. I'm way back to fucking Gothenburg.
I'll tell you, I'm going to buy that new Magnus style ones, and I'm going to get 1B, putting the banks in the One Direction, 1B, one Bangura. Maybe you'll know what it means, but me and Europe and your listeners. So you see 1B in the back of the strip, and you don't know what it look like, but you know who I'm.
That is a real one bastard there. He's no a 1B, he's just a one bastard. He's a real big bastard, him.
I know, I remember that somebody retweeted his timeline for Tarfi when he was right back at Celtic. I keep going clubbing and I'm always late for training. I mean, Jesus Christ, he was unbelievable. There was a woman came on to the X Factor last Saturday night. I briefly flicked over, and she came on screaming, an African lady, and she had Bangura red hair. I thought it was a sheriff's ma. I was like, I thought she was back, and I put a tweet and I went, is that Bangura's ma? And I put hashtag X Factor, and I had all these women fucking retweeting it. You know, not I'm sexist, but it's not like a woman retweeting me, obviously, but so the X Factor and the sheriff, mate, welded in together. But no, we'll wait and see, pal. It's frightening. I think you can go into these games positive or negative, but you see the standards of the teams in Europe. I think Gordon's trying to say tonight, this is the best players in Europe playing the best tournament, because they're hitting them outside the box, cracking them in. If somebody makes a mistake, you seen last season when Tony Wattgate's great goal against Barcelona, that was an Iniesta mistake. Bang, he's through and he scored. That's what it's all about. So
no. Who'd you say there?
Was it Iniesta or was it Zach?
Xavi. Oh, shocking time there. The parrot got it wrong. Another yellow card, that's it. Yellow card, 2 yellow cards, what does that mean?
That's the most overrated football team in my life. The Milan team in 1990 would pump them.
Off. This is a 2 yellow cards, now you sit out with a red card now. You're on your last warning here. You've escaped every fucking... You're getting fined, there'll be fucking deductions coming out here. Come on. Barca against Milan, so you're talking Maldini...
Milan 90
with Maldini, Baresi, with Costa Curta, was he there, big Costa Curta, with Frank Rijkaard, with
Donadoni, Ruud, Marco Van
Albertini,
and Carlos Ancelotti. Oh, that was a team, come on.
And so you're saying they would horse the Barca of Iniesta, Xavi, Pedro, Messi, Big Puyol. I would gear that. Actually, I would see for the. I would gear that actually, because for all that Barca team was right, it's been found out, and it's been the same team. The defence is sugarier than a fucking sugary nail. The only how they managed to win that fucking Champions League with that dodgy defence a couple of years ago, God only knows, because it's been shown up for a real dodgy defence, isn't it? Are they playing at home no more? They'll be playing at home no more against Ajax, won't they?
It's just, it's fantastic ball retention, and they've got guys like Messi can put it in the net. But you see, defensively, for me, a good team's a team solid, and for me, the keepers know the rest. So you never know, mate. But that was it. So
I'll gear that one, but you're still on 2 yellow cards, so you're getting cut off for your fucking. Your previous piece of nonsense.
Hopefully somebody will phone up a wee bit of cash and carry memorabilia about the game tonight. So I'll go for 1 each tonight.
I'm going 2 each. We're going to be 2-1 up, and they bastards are going to score in the last minute. We're going to be going there taking on an emphatic 2-1 victory. Stokes and Sammy. And then they dirty bastards are going to score, and then we might even struggle to keep it if we go into 3-2, but I reckon we're going to be leading them, and we're going to take the game to them, going to take them by the throat, we're going to fucking play it, but then we're going to turn a brilliant defeat, a brilliant victory into almost a fucking terrible defeat. I can just see it, because I think we're going to put on a heroic game, but fucking, I hope we get a victory, hope we go for a victory and get a draw. There you go, how's that?
Oh, Andy Murray won Wimbledon this year. Positive thoughts, mate. I mean, these shooters can't have this being Scottish and celebrating being shite's absolutely cash and carry. The team's made up of Polacks and immigrants and all sorts of people from around the world. So it's time
if we can sell off our crown jewels and replace it with fucking Harry's and still get through to the Champions League, and fucking Peter Lawwell better go dooting for fucking apples in that Clyde, because he'll come out with fucking 22 carat apples and smelling of roses, mate. The guy's fucking minted. I mean, he's fucking how he can come back for that Carragandi. I mean, that was a comeback Lazarus would have been proud of, wouldn't it?
Oh, I tell you what, mate, we sold our Lamborghinis, and we didn't even buy a ladder to replace them.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They managed to pull a fucking... I mean, they won the watch, they sold their players, they got the Champions League money for last season, they got the Champions League money, and they still managed to get it. I mean, and in between that, I mean, they went to war with the Green Brigade, so they go to war with the Green Brigade, and at the same time, they're no replacing it. We were going fucking ape shit. We're sitting here going ape shit, and yet they walk away with a 3-0 victory. I mean... Can
I just say, though, reference to Green Brigade, and there's stuff been on my timeline today that the fact that the supporters who sit in 1-1-1, all the supporters, not just
The
brigade members,
supporters sitting 1-1-1.